I live life with a purpose, practically every day. One morning I woke up, I said, what is my purpose in life now? And then it dawned on me. I said, you know what? I am Armenian, and I am gay, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. So it was almost mid-90s. I said, why don't I run an ad? Oh boy. Back in the day, we had voicemails. The phone rang and the message would go in a box and then you listen to it. That box, I had to empty every 30 minutes.
I had picked up a lesbian news magazine. And there was a tiny little thing that said, are you Armenian? Are you gay? Call this number. And we were like blown away. We were like, what the heck? Who's Armenian and who's like calling for this?
Azad had started a small group at her own house, so we started gathering together.
And it was incredible. It was a start to something fantastic. We found ourselves. We found our community. We found something that we had been missing for pretty much all our lives. So it was very exciting.
When we started this group, somebody had to pay the price, and I was ready for it. I went through a lot. Oh, the nasty calls. They vandalized my cars. They literally drove into one of my businesses through the front glass window, the whole thing. It wasn't easy, but I did one thing that I'm really very happy I didn't. Everybody was scared, so I don't want to say anything to anybody. Absolutely nothing. I did my best to protect everybody, and thank God I didn't hear any harm that was done to any of them, and because of me. I'm very grateful for that. And I'm very happy, very proud of their courage that they called their friends, their cousins, everybody came in, everybody joined in. That was a great feeling, you know? It's like, that was the purpose, you know? This is the purpose here, to see even not thousands of us out there and under one roof, but at least a couple of hundred, all right? That felt good. That felt very good.
And from there, we just kept growing. And as we grew, the needs of the group became more detailed, so we took it to the even higher level.
About a year and a half into it, we organized, actually. We started having board meetings and we incorporated into a 501c3. And when I think about it, it's like a lot of adult things happened, but we were all maybe in our early 20s.
We used to have security officers for any events that we would do. We would not have events in Glendale. But, you know, times have changed. Now we have big events in Glendale, and that's such a big accomplishment for our community.
I always joke with friends that every time I meet another gay Armenian, it adds years to my life. And I think that's really true. One of the greatest predictors of good health and good mental health and good physical health is social support. And I think GALAS is a place where Armenians who may not feel supported because of their LGBT identity can receive that support and also add years to their lives.
I was 12 years old when I figured out that I was gay, but I wouldn't admit it to myself until 45 years later when I finally came out of the closet at the age of 57.
The reason I knew about the organization is because I had reached out to them under a different name. And I was just looking for help at that point.
I was 13. I remember Googling gay Armenian and GALAS came up. I was like, oh my God, what is this? There's people like me that exist.
Armenians have a hard time speaking their personal truth if it's different than what is socially accepted in the Armenian community. So if you're gay or a lesbian or trans, you know, already you're different. And you have this personal struggle because you've grown up hearing so much about what it means to be an Armenian, and inside you're like, well, I'm already not that.
I think it was one of the first picnics at Griffith Park and had such a great time that I friended myself on the Facebook site and watch it intently every day.
GALAS really became one of the first sort of organizations that kind of kicked my activism into high gear.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is a room full of Armenians and I don't hate it.
GALAS filled something in me that I didn't know was missing. And that's where I could be myself. My identity and my culture actually intersected. I didn't have to choose between the two. Until I found GALAS, I really wasn't whole.
What I've gained from GALAS is my Armenian identity as a trans person. And that's super important to me because I'm really proud of being Armenian, but I'm also really proud of being trans. And for the first time, I get to bring those two identities together. And I want to be the person that I needed when I was going through that for those guys or for those trans people who don't have what I have. And it's important for me to do that.
I want to be as happy as I can be and as successful as I can be to show not only Armenian families and parents that are homophobic, but also Armenian kids that are growing up that we're just like anyone else and we have our own goals and we have our lives to live and we're happy.
The thing that I admire most about GALAS is actually its ability to change over the years and evolve. It's always been on the cusp of existential crisis, but I think that's actually kept the organization going for so long because we're constantly rethinking, what is GALAS's purpose? It hasn't stayed stagnant for very long.
What the current board is doing now has been the freshest I've seen GALAS in years.
The Surge sessions are amazing.
Surge sessions was incredible. I reached out. I have a few other friends who are Armenian LGBTQ and I reached out to them and I was like, dude, you have to come. And they're like, maybe I can bring my mom to this because it's a lot of their family is not accepting them. And so it was like, I want to bring my mom. My mom is really supportive now, but I want to bring my mom so that she can bring her experience to the table with these other mothers and be like, hey, this is kind of what my experience has been.
We want to take GALAS to the next level of bringing visibility to LGBTQ Armenian voices, of creating that kind of a safe and supportive environment that LGBTQ Armenians need, but also educating the allies, the parents, the friends of LGBTQ Armenians.
We have a lot of professionals in GALAS that have skill, a lot of strength. And it was so empowering to have everyone come together and make GALAS what it is today. GALAS grew from a little seedling and has persisted. It's had its ups and downs, but it has gone on for 20 years.
20 years later, I've come back because I thought, that GALAS has helped me so much that I figured I need to give back again, and I'm in it for the long haul.
20 years is just a stepping stone and we've got a lot of work to do.
I feel very fortunate that we have our organization that is bringing us together as a family. And I don't think there are any of us that have any doubt how important family is to the Armenian community.
I want to say thank you to the brave group of Armenians who came together 20 years ago and made this possible. You have created a space where young Armenians like myself can find family, and it is such an honor to continue that and to create space for more and more young Armenians to be themselves.